Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Speak English with Sophie. I'm Sophie.
And I'm Chris. We're thrilled to have you with us today.
Today, we're diving into a spooky and fun topic: Halloween.
That's right, Halloween is celebrated on October 31, and it's a time for costumes, trick-or-treating, and all things spooky.
Before we get into our discussion, let's preview two important vocabulary words you'll hear today: costume and trick-or-treat.
Costume refers to the clothes people wear to dress up as something or someone else, especially during Halloween. For example, you might wear a witch's costume.
And trick-or-treat is a Halloween tradition where children go from house to house, saying trick or treat to get candy. It's a lot of fun.
Now that we have our vocabulary preview, let's get started. Sophie, what do you enjoy most about Halloween?
Oh, I absolutely love the creativity that goes into costumes. Seeing everyone's imaginative outfits is always a highlight for me. How about you, Chris?
For me, it's definitely the haunted houses. I love the thrill of being scared and the creativity that goes into making them so spooky.
Speaking of haunted houses, did you know that the tradition of Halloween has ancient roots? It actually dates back to the Celtic festival of Samhain, which was celebrated over 2,000 years ago.
That's fascinating. The Celts believed that on the night of October 31, the boundary between the living and the dead became blurred, and ghosts of the dead returned to Earth.
Exactly. To ward off these spirits, people would light bonfires and wear costumes to scare them away. This is where our modern Halloween costumes come from.
It's amazing how traditions evolve over time. Now, let's talk about some popular Halloween activities. Besides trick-or-treating and haunted houses, what else do people do to celebrate?
Carving pumpkins into jack-o'-lanterns is a big one. It's so much fun to create different faces and designs.
Definitely, and don't forget about Halloween parties. People often throw themed parties with spooky decorations, games, and, of course, costume contests.
Those are always a blast. I remember last year, my friend threw a party with a Monster Mash theme. Everyone had to come dressed as their favorite monster.
That sounds like so much fun. And speaking of monsters, let's not forget about classic Halloween movies. Watching scary movies is a great way to get into the Halloween spirit.
Absolutely. There are so many great ones to choose from. Do you have a favorite, Chris?
I do. I love Hocus Pocus. It's a perfect mix of spooky and fun. How about you?
I love The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's a beautiful blend of Halloween and Christmas.
Great choices. Now, before we wrap up our conversation, let's introduce 5 keywords from today's discussion and their meanings.
First, we have costume. As we mentioned earlier, a costume is the clothes people wear to dress up as something or someone else.
Next is trick or treat. This is the Halloween tradition where children go from house to house asking for candy.
Our third keyword is jack-o'-lantern. This is a carved pumpkin with a candle inside, often made for Halloween.
Fourth, we have haunted house. This is a house that is decorated to be scary, often with spooky sounds and actors dressed as ghosts or monsters.
Finally, our fifth keyword is bonfire. A bonfire is a large outdoor fire that people often gather around, especially during celebrations like Halloween.
Let's go over these keywords and examples once more. Please repeat after us.
Costume. I wore a witch's costume for Halloween.
Trick or treat. The children went trick-or-treating and collected lots of candy.
Jack-o'-lantern. We carved a scary face into our jack-o'-lantern.
Haunted house. We visited a haunted house and it was really spooky.
Bonfire. We sat around the bonfire and told ghost stories.
Great job, everyone. Keep practicing those words and sentences.
And now, let's continue our Halloween topic. Chris, do you know where the name jack-o'-lantern comes from?
Yes, the term jack-o'-lantern comes from an old Irish myth about a man named Stingy Jack. According to the story, Jack tricked the devil and, as a result, was doomed to roam the earth with only a burning coal inside a carved-out turnip to light his way.
That's right. When Irish immigrants came to America, they started using pumpkins instead of turnips, and that's how we got the jack-o'-lanterns we know today.
It's fascinating how these traditions and stories evolve and adapt over time. Another interesting aspect of Halloween is the variety of costumes people wear. Have you noticed any trends in Halloween costumes recently?
Definitely. Recently, I've seen a lot of people dressing up as their favorite characters from popular TV shows and movies. Superheroes, villains, and even memes have become popular choices.
It's always fun to see how creative people can get with their costumes. Another trend I've noticed is the rise of DIY costumes. People are becoming more resourceful and making their own costumes at home.
That's true. DIY costumes can be a lot more unique and personalized. Plus, they're often more budget-friendly.
Speaking of budgets, let's talk about the impact of Halloween on the economy. Did you know that Halloween is one of the biggest holidays for consumer spending?
Yes, I've heard that. People spend a lot on costumes, decorations, candy, and parties. It's a significant boost for retailers.
Absolutely. According to the National Retail Federation, Americans spend billions of dollars on Halloween every year.
It's incredible how much people are willing to invest in celebrating this holiday. And it's not just about spending money, it's also about the joy and excitement that comes with it.
Exactly. Halloween brings people together and allows them to express their creativity. It's a unique blend of fun, fear, and festivity.
Before we wrap up, do you have any tips for our listeners who might be celebrating Halloween for the first time?
Sure. My first tip is to embrace the spirit of Halloween. Don't be afraid to get creative with your costume and decorations.
Great tip! I would also suggest participating in community events like parades, festivals, and trick-or-treating. It's a great way to experience the holiday and meet new people.
And of course, don't forget to have fun. Halloween is all about enjoying yourself and making memories.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you all for joining us on this Halloween-themed discussion.
We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Remember to subscribe to our channel, Speak English with Sophie, for more fun and educational content.
And don't forget to practice the vocabulary and phrases we discussed today. Keep improving your English skills, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Happy Halloween, everyone!
Happy Halloween! This is the end of today's episode, but remember, learning English doesn't stop here. There's so much more to explore, so make sure to check out our other episodes to keep your English journey going. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and stay updated with our latest lessons. Your support helps us create more content to help you master English. Keep practicing, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next episode. Happy learning!